सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओं. We have completed in chapter 7 up to Sloka 27. We'll do a quick recap and conclude this chapter today. From 20th verse of this chapter, which is the 7th chapter, Paramatma dealt with Sakama Bhakti, the bhakti or worship by which a person seeks everything other than God. That means he is more into mundane things, the worldly things. They are his priority. God is only a sadhanam. Sadhyam is mundane things. This is the stage. This is called Sakama Bhakti. So, Paramatma first, he glorified the Sakama Bhakti. He talked about the plus points of Sakama Bhakti. The plus points of Sakama Bhakti is that it is perfectly okay in the beginning. All of us, we start our Bhakti chapter with Sakama Bhakti. It is not sinful to entertain Sakama Bhakti. By Sakama Bhakti, a person does not spiritually fall. Not only that, Sakama Bhakti is very valid and efficacious if it is properly practiced. Sakama Bhakti gives phalam, provided you follow it the way it is said. Just like water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, Sakama Bhakti also gives result you desire, provided you follow the rules of the game. And then Paramatma talked about the minus points, the doshas of Sakama Bhakti. In the verse 23, Krishna Paramatma mentioned the doshas. He said that however sacred and great it may be, it can give only the finite result. Either money or children, possessions, position, or the highest lokas, whatever you desire, you may get. But one should remember they are all finite in nature. Being finite in nature, they can only give pleasure for a limited time. And since they can give pleasure only for a limited time, a time will come when those joys, those pleasures will have to be lost. So, they will bring forth the dukkham. Therefore, every finite pleasure, according to Vedanta, is a potential pain. And the pain that they can give will be directly proportional to the pleasure that one gains. Therefore, Sakama Bhakti will keep a person within samsara, which involves temporary pleasure, again pain, again temporary pleasure, again pain, like that. Samsara will continue in Sakama Bhakti. A person will not fall, all right, but a person will not spiritually grow through Sakama Bhakti. In acquiring the thing you want, you have to toil a lot. Arjane dukkham. After you get the thing you sought after, you have to protect it and safeguard it. Rakshane dukkham. And then a day comes when it falls, then the most beloved thing in your life, you lose it. And nase dukkham. Therefore, what should an intelligent person do? Not only this, the Sakama Bhakti is having two more doshas. One dosha that we mentioned was it is having a potential pain. Dukkha Misritatvam. The second defect, the second dosha in Sakama Bhakti is, in Sakama Bhakti, the desires are never ending. Whatever the desire you fulfill, again 10 more desires will crop up. You get atrupti karatvam. If you think that you have purchased the best car, your neighbor buys a step better than what you have. So you feel envy and you feel you have not achieved what you want. This kind of atrupti karatvam will prevail in Sakama Bhakti. And not only this, all the things around you, people around you, the places you live, they all bind you. Bandhakatvam. So, because of this, three doshas, dukkha misritatvam, atruptikaratvam, bandhakatvam, the Sakama Bhakti is not the ultimate bhakti. So one has to move from Sakama Bhakti to Nishkama Bhakti. Therefore, what an intelligent person should do, if he is far-sighted enough, if he knows that finite things are having potential pain, an intelligent person should seek only limitless one, which alone can give permanent security, which alone can give permanent peace, which alone can give permanent happiness. So peace, happiness and security is not in Sakama Bhakti. So the next question that props up is, what is that infinite goal which is free from all these three doshas, three limitations, for which Paramatma says that infinite goal I have already introduced before. That is Paraprakriti, my own higher nature. Everything falls within Paraprakriti. Aparaprakriti means matter. Everything within the matter field will be finite. Paraprakriti alone is infinite. Therefore, one should move from aparaprakriti to paraprakriti. Then the natural question that comes after this is, where is this paraprakriti available? Where can I find it? Krishna Paramatma says, for this, he has already given the answer before. What is that answer? Paraprakriti is the Chaitanyam, the consciousness principle, which is everywhere, including your own body. So, Jivabhutam Mahabaho, Yedam Dharyate Jagat. In 5th verse of this chapter, he said, the Paraprakriti is infinite. Paraprakriti is the Chaitanya Swarupam, and that Chaitanyam is in everyone. In fact, because of that consciousness alone, I am aware of everything, including my body, my mind, and my thought. Therefore, the infinite source of peace, happiness, and security is within me. It is in the closest parts of my very being. It is very much in my heart, in my very mind, it is there. So the next question will be, what if the infinite is very much available in the closest quarters? How come people run after finite goals of life? When I got water underneath the ground in my house, I just run around to get trickles of water. Why should I run for measurable quantity of water outside? I had to resort to water tankers for want of water. Why should I do this? I have got perennial source of peace, security and happiness within me. Paramatma says there can be only one reason. What is that reason? When I have with me, I should seek it. When I have it within me, I should not seek it outside. If I am seeking outside, it can be only one reason, that it is mere ignorance of this fact. The fact is covered from my eyes, from my mind. This fact is veiled, and that is why we have to do this. That is why we have to discover. Discover. Discover means dismissing the cover. We require discovery because there is a covering. Then comes, who is responsible for this cover? For this, in 25th sloka, Paramatma said, Naham prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavartaha. In 25th sloka, because of my yogamaya, my own yogamaya, the people got this cover. The yogamaya has got covering power, the avarana shakti. Because of this avarana shakti, people are not knowing that they are the very swarupa of ananda, shanti and bhadrata. So, Tribhirguna mayair bhavai sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. Because of this power of Maya, because of the three gunas in the Maya, we miss our own original nature. We are very much enamored by three gunas of Maya. The three gunas of apara prakriti, it lures people and makes people forget their own nature. The three gunas are outside the world. And three gunas are in the form of my very body. Three gunas are in the form of my mind. Because mind is a matter, body is a matter, world is a matter. I am enamored by the matter. I miss the perennial source called the consciousness. Therefore, I am lokaha mudaha. The whole world is deluded by the attractive matter and miss the eternal consciousness. Mudaha ayam na abhijanati. He does not recognize fact of fullness is in my very own body. Ayam mudaha na abhijanati. This Ajnani will not know his own nature. And therefore, to tap the water, we call water diviners or dowsers. dowsing is a technique to know the water underneath the soil. Likewise, we require a guru to tap the Ananda which is covered by Maya, the Ananda within me which is covered by Maya. So for this I require a Sadguru. I require a Srotriya Brahmanishta who already tapped the Ananda for himself. Swayam Tirna Anyanapit Tarayantaha. He already crossed the samsara and he can make me cross. So I should be in touch with a Srotriya Brahmanishta and seek this knowledge. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. So that the source of Ananda, the source of peace which is within you can be tapped by you. Therefore, there is a method of digging and owning that peace. That is going to a guru, a Srotriya Brahmanishta guru, and seeking the self-knowledge. So, Paramatma is very compassionate. So, he said that he can bless these people in such a way that they can go to a guru. Vedaham samatitani vartabadani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. I know all beings belong to the past, present and future. But no one knows me, O Arjuna. So here we have given a beautiful example that suppose I cover my face with a book. You cannot see my face, nor I can see you all. That is the case. Here, it is said that Maya is covering jivas in such a way that they cannot see their real nature. This Avarana Shakti is covering like a wheel. It is covering the Jnanam of Swarupa Jnanam of jivas so that they cannot recognize their own potentiality. It is something like I keep the book and cover my face. If I do this, I cannot see you, nor you can see my face. In the same way, is it in this way that Paramatma also cannot see the jivas? Jivas cannot understand the real nature of Paramatma. That is understood. Can Paramatma see the jivas? Because Maya is in between them and it is covering both the parties. But it is not the case. He said that Maya is under the control of Bhagavan, whereas jivas are under the control of Maya. Bhagavan can control Maya because Maya is his own Shakti. Maya Shakti is Bhagavan's Shakti. So it is very much under the control of Bhagavan. Whereas jivas are under the control of Maya. So, because of the spell of Maya, the jivas are not able to see God. Ichha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. He Parantapa, O Arjuna, due to delusion of the duality caused by desire and hatred, all beings get deluded at the time of birth itself. Jiva has missed the infinite God who is residing within himself. the infinite peace which is within himself, the infinite security which is within himself, the infinite happiness which is within himself, he has missed. When right from the date of birth, right from the time of birth. Therefore, Paramatma pronounces in the second stanza, Sarvabhutani sammoham sargeyanti. Sargeyanti, sarge means at the time of the birth itself. Jiva is affected by ignorance. And since I do not know that the peace and happiness are within myself, I seek the very same peace and happiness outside. Thus begins the life of extrovertedness. And people, they run outside to get peace, happiness, and security. So as I grow up, as a baby, I thought my security is with the toys and all playful things. Then as I grow up, the motor bicycles and the computer games and so on, some more things added up. I thought these things will give me happiness. So as I grow further, I thought, the richness, the property, and the comforts will give me the happiness. They will give you the physical happiness, no doubt in it, but the mental happiness is not achieved by these things. The mental happiness can be achieved only through spirituality. So one should know that the difference between physical happiness and mental happiness. Physical happiness you will get by accomplishments of the worldly things. It's a comfort, physical comfort. But mental comfort, mental happiness cannot be achieved by the accomplishment of physical things. However big, however great they are, they can never give happiness. And the eternal happiness, the eternal peace, eternal security can be achieved only through spirituality, by para prakruti. Therefore, he says, dvandva mohena, the world is deluded by dvandva. Dvandva means the pairs of opposites caused by raga and dvesha, ichcha and dvesha. I divide this world into two. This is the source of joy, this is the source of sorrow, which is my delusion. So if this is the source of joy, I want it. I should acquire it immediately. This is the source of unhappiness, sorrow. I must avoid this. So this is the whole journey. Having divided the world into two, the whole life is I'm interested in acquiring what I consider as the source of joy. At the same time, I am busy in getting rid of things which I consider the source of sorrow. Sukhahetum prati pravrutti, dukkhahetu vishaye nivrutti. Getting and getting rid, acquiring and disposing. Acquiring and disposing. This is called pravrutti nivrutti activities, born out of raga and dvesha. Since the delusion is born out of raga and dvesha pair, it is called dvandva moha. Dvandva moha means raga and dvesha pair caused moha. And because of this delusion born out of raga and dvesha, the whole world is running here and there. Vedanta says there is no object which can cause you dukkham, there is no object which can cause you sukham. There is no object which can cause you happiness, there is no object which can cause you no sorrow. As far as Vedanta is concerned, it does not look upon the world as either cause of happiness or cause of sorrow. World is neither cause of happiness nor cause of sorrow. The cause of happiness is what? Knowing myself. The cause of sorrow is what? Not knowing myself. I must realize this. Sorrow and happiness are both centered on me. The self-ignorance is the cause of sorrow. The self-knowledge is the cause of happiness. I do not know this. Therefore, I put the responsibility on the world and go on adjusting and changing the people, changing the car. Nowadays, people change the wives and husbands. And if they are not available for change, change your body, change your hairstyle. If you have a mistake, next day you remove it. They change the strap of the watch, change this and that. We go on adjusting the world, thinking that a change of situation will make me better. And I am so busy, no time for solving the real problem. Sammoham sargeyanti parantapa. This is the lot of humanity. But there are some blessed people, somehow they are different from the majority, the ignorant people. Who are they? The Gita students like you. So, Paramatma is saying, Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmuktaha bhajante mam drudavrataha. Yesham punya karmanam jananam tu papam antagatam te drudavrataha dvandva moha nirmuktaha mam bhajante. Two, but punyakarmanam yesham jananam papam antagatam. So those people who are desireless, they do all punya karmas. They take up pancha mahayajnas. They do good to people. So for such people, the papam gets diminished. The papam vanishes. So such bhaktas, they are free from dvandva moha. Dvandva moha nirmuktaha. So the dvandva moha, which is generated by ragam and dvesham. Just now we discussed what is the pair of opposites. The pair of opposites caused by ragam and dvesham. They are free from this ragam and dvesham. Sukha dukkadi dvandva rupa moham. Drudavrataha, they are very firm about their destination. They are firm about their goal. Mam bhajante, they take refuge in me. They pray me. They seek my ultimate nature. So there are some lucky people. There are some, people who are wise and lucky. They are not like the majority of the people. They understand there is some defect in this pursuit. That is the three purusharthas. Preyo margam has got the defect. So I want a defect-free Sreyo margam. They stand out and they start learning the Shastra. Jananam punya karmanam. There are certain people who are punyamurtis. They do a lot of punyam. So this punyam they must have done either in this janma or acquired in the previous janma. Because of the punyam they have acquired, they must have done pancha mahayajnas, lot of charity, and their mind is already processed. They got the chitta suddhi, chitta ekagrata, and chitta vaisalyata. And because of that, they have accrued a lot of punyam, and their papam got diminished. Tvanta gatam papam. So their papam got reduced. They start thinking. They already started thinking. So why they have not thought of so far, if you ask? So far now, they thought by changing the world, the changing the people around, the changing the things around, they get happiness. But now they realized that is not true. By analysis, they understood that this is all finite. A finite world will give only finite anandam. It will not give eternal happiness. My very swarupa is eternal happiness, eternal security, eternal joy, eternal peace. So I must know my very swarupa. So like that, they switch over to para prakriti. But some people, even though they are 70, 80 and all that, they do not know. They refuse to come to Jnana. They clearly say they have good clarity about their understanding. They say, I don't want moksha. They run around the worldly things. So they say they have got everything in the world, people, grandchildren, children, house, property, and they have a few successes in their life. But within the heart, within the mind, that vacuum is there, that emptiness is there. They feel whether they are in the right path or not. The journey is coming to an end. But so far now, I have not got the joy I am seeking for. So when this question lingers in the mind, then they understand there is something which gives me the eternal happiness, the eternal peace, the eternal security. So they switch over from Ardha Kama to Moksha Purushartha. This happens by self-effort and the Ishvara Krupa. So, our Puja Guruji always says, the problem is you and the solution is you. Problem is you means as long as you do not recognize that you have a problem. And the problem is that you do not know your real self. You will not get the solution. So the problem is you, the solution is you means the problem is not knowing your real self is the problem. What is the solution? Know your own real self. That is the solution. That is the only and only solution which makes you happy here and now. All your external running out will stop. Te dvandva moha nirmuktaha bhavanti. So these people who started thinking, they are free from the eternal, running outside. So because their punyam is increased, they are free from the pair of opposites, and they want the nitya vastu. They want nitya nitya. They start doing nitya nitya vastu vivekam. So they get iha amutra phalaboga viragam. So in one word we can say they know what is their problem. What is that problem? The Atma Ajnanam. the self-ignorance is the real problem. So, after trying all things outside, they come to this conclusion. Because of my self-ignorance, I am not getting the happiness to the fullest extent. So they seek me, mam bhajante. They ultimately come to me. Come to me as what? Not as an apara prakriti, but para prakriti. They come to understand my real swarupam. So they are in the Brahma Anveshana. This is what we call Nishkama Bhakti. So, because of the ignorance, because of Maya, the people remain as Sakama Bhaktas. When they get clarity, they transform into Nishkama Bhaktas. What is this Nishkama Bhakti? We'll see this in the next sloka. Jara marana mokshaya mam asritya yatanti ye te brahma tad vidukrutsnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Ye mam asritya. These people, they take refuge in me. Jara marana mokshaya yatanti te tad brahma krusnam adhyatmam cha akilam karma viduhu. So, these people, they are free from jara maranam. That means they are free from birth and death. That means they are free from this samsara chakram. So, those people who try to get out of this samsara chakram, they understand the complete nature of Paramatma, the Adhyatmam, and the complete nature of karma. So the Nishkama Bhakti starts when I understand my real Ananda is not outside. The world is not the reason for my happiness and for my dukkham. So, when I understand I am the very source of happiness, then I have no issues at all. When I see a rope as a rope, I don't have any fear. Only if I see a rope as a snake, I get the scares, I get the fear. I'm scared only if I see the rope as a snake. So I should see rope as a rope. So in the same way, if I have the Atma Jnanam, then I understand I am the very Swarupa. If I get this clarity, then I become a Jijnasa. When I become a Jijnasa Bhakta, I will approach a Srotriya Brahmanishta for want of Jnana. Jara Marana Mokshaya, to get out of this Samsara Chakram, to get out of this birth-death cycle. So, these people, ye yatanti, they want swecha, mam asritya, they come to me and they pray me and they really seek happiness which is eternal and permanent. Mam asritya tad viduhu. So they get the happiness. When they switch over from apara prakriti to para prakriti, they get santi, bhadrata and ananda. So, Paramatma says the Nishkama Bhaktas, they achieve the goal. Sakama Bhaktas, they do not achieve the goal. So here Paramatma says that you should not stop at Sakama Bhakti, you have to necessarily change over from Sakama Bhakti to Nishkama Bhakti at one stage or other. So here he has used these Nishkama Bhaktas, they understand the Brahman karma. They understand the complete nature of Brahman karma. He did not explain it here. He is giving a new word so that Arjuna questions, please explain this, so that he will explain this in the next chapter. Te tat brahma krishnam viduhu. So they understand the Brahma Swarupa completely. Akhilam karma viduhu, that karma completely. Adhyatmam, they understand this adhyatmam. I am not explaining these words because the explanation is the next chapter. So, 3 words are used, Brahma, Karma, Adhyatma. Then he is going to introduce some more new terms which will lead to the next chapter. Those new words are given in the 30th sloka, which is the foundation for 8th chapter. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadi yajnancha ye viduhu prayana kale picha mam te viduryukta chetasaha. Ye sadi bhuta adidaivam sadi yajnancha mam viduhu te yukta chetasaha prayana kale apicha mam viduhu. So, these people, they understand Adibhuta, Adidaivam and Adiyajnam. And they remember me, they pray me at the time of departure, at the last hours when they are going to leave the body. They have absolute control of the mind and they remember me, they pray me. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadi yajnancha. So they understand 3 aspects. What are the 3 aspects? Adhibhutam, adhidaivam, adhiyajnam. Along with this, Paramatma said 6 amsas, 6 different topics these Nishkama Bhaktis learn. So, what are they? Brahma, Karma, Adhyatmam, Adhibhutam, Adhidaivam, Adhiyajnam. So, these 6 items are Paraprakriti and Aparaprakriti's combination. So, he is going to explain them in the next chapter. These Nishkama Bhaktas, they understand these 6 aspects. Not only that, they understand, they remember these things at the time of death. And Prayana Kale Picha Mam, they understand my very nature, Paraprakriti and Aparaprakriti. I am a mixture of Paraprakriti and Aparaprakriti. They understand at the time of death also. So, the Ishvara Swaranam at the time of Marana, at the time of death, Krishna Paramatma talked about this. Then this raises a curiosity in the mind of the students. Why should people remember God at the time of death? So, and how they can remember Him at the time of death? Because they are more engrossed in these worldly things. They remember about some property deal or about the kids, about something which they are missing at the time of death instead of Bhagavan. The FD which is to be renewed, all these things they remember. They do not think of Bhagavan Namam. So Krishna Paramatma raised the curiosity in the mind of Arjuna. So Arjuna questions, please explain these 7 things. And the 7 things are Brahma, Karma, Adhyatmam, Adibhutam, Adidaivam, Adiyajnam, and how to remember the God, how to remember God at the time of death. So this is the chapter. With this, the 7th chapter is over. We will take up the summary in the next class, and the class after that I will start the 8th chapter. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Sastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Vijnana Yogo Nama Saptamodhyayaha Harihi Om Tat Sat.